Well, hello there, and welcome to Minestruck. So if you guys didn't watch my previous video where I went through all of the guest features on Minestruck, I recommend you do so now. But just in case you didn't catch that and you're going to still watch this, Minestruck is a website that is designed to foster a community for Minecrafters to share their structures that they've built and saved with the 1.10 structure blocks with the world. So there are plenty of things you can do as a guest. Go watch that video, it's linked in the description below. But what if you want to become a member? What's the point? What does becoming a member get you? Well, for one thing, becoming a member allows you to share your structures, which you can't do as a guest. You can only download other people's structures. But I'll get into that in a second. So first, we're going to talk about how to become a member of Minestruck. So if you're not signed in, you'll get this Join Minestruck icon here, the enchantment table, because Minestruck is magical. And when you click Join Minestruck, you'll get this Create an Account form. Now you can choose any username you want. However, if it's already used, like in this case, this is my username and it's already an account, it'll tell you it's taken and please try another. Fair enough. So I'm going to go with blah. Password can be anything you want. I recommend at least 8 characters, letters, numbers, and symbols, the usual security things, but it's up to you. Make your password whatever you want. Just remember that your account is only as secure as your password. So I'm not going to get into that. I realize I'm a programmer, so computer security is kind of first and foremost on my mind, but I'm not going to bore you with that. Just make sure your password's decent. You confirm your password, and if you have the wrong password, it's not going to tell you immediately, but when you click the sign up button, if the passwords don't match, it will tell you. And now it's complaining because I have to enter a password, but sure, let's just enter a password that is completely unsecure, 3 characters long. And then when you sign up, you have to include your Minecraft username. Now, you do need a valid Minecraft username in order to use this service, or I should say in order to become a Minestruck member. And the reason for that is mostly just to prevent fraud and spam. I don't want people coming on here who create an account but then don't actually have a Minestruck account, so they can't actually contribute to the community. And I don't want people coming on here to just spam the comments and things like that. I don't want any of that. So to prevent all of that, you do need a username, and it has to be a real Minecraft username. So if I pick one that's probably not real, it'll tell me the Minecraft username you provided can't be found because it's not a real user. But at the same time, you can only have 1 account per Minecraft username. So if I put in my Minecraft username here, it'll say, sorry, that Minecraft username is associated with an existing account, try another. So 1 account per Minecraft username, and it has to be a real username. Now you might have figured out by now that it doesn't necessarily have to be your username. It should be, but it doesn't have to be. And so that's where verification comes in. So if you saw the other video with the guest features, I kind of touched on verification a little bit. I'll get into that in a little bit more detail in a minute in this video. But for now, I'm going to go with false symmetry because I like her videos. But I'm not actually going to create this account with her name. Don't worry, I'm not stealing her identity. Now, the last 2 fields here are email address and confirmation of that email. These are not required. Notice they don't have a star next to them. And if you hover your mouse over this question mark, it explains to you, you do not need to sign up with an email address. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable giving out their email address, especially to a new website that they don't have a reputation with. And I understand that, and that's fine. So you do not need to sign up with an email address. However, at some point, if you ever forget your password or if you want to change it for any reason, we are going to need your email address on file. And this is because without being able to sign into your account, for example, if you forgot your password, we have no way of verifying that you, in fact, are the person who signed up with that account. So anyone could just say, oh, hey, I forgot my password for this account, send me it. I can't really do that. That wouldn't be secure. So the only way we have to verify your account if you can't sign in is by your email, which means if you don't have an email address on file and you forget your password, you're out of luck because there's nothing we can do to help you. And I'm sorry about that, but don't say I didn't warn you. You can always add or change your email address later after you've signed up. You can do that from your profile page. So if you don't want to do it at first, but then you decide, you like the website and you're going to be around a lot, you might want to add it later. But it's just for your own protection. In case you forget your password or want to change it, we need your email address to send you the password reset link. And that's the only thing that we will ever use your email address for. It will not be publicly visible. Nobody will see it except you. And it will only be used for password reset links and no other reason. So don't worry about any of that. But it is optional, so if you're still suspicious, you can leave it out. But I'm going to leave it out for now. And I'm not going to sign up because, again, I don't want to steal False Symmetry's username. I'm not stealing your identity. Don't worry, guys. But yeah, then you click sign up, and it will immediately create the account if everything is good, and it will sign you in. If there's an error, if you've typed something wrong, if you've mistyped your password over here or mistyped an email address, or if there's any kind of errors at all, it'll come back and it'll tell you what's wrong and you can fix it. Once everything's right, it'll sign you in. Okay, so then if you have an account, then you can sign in at any time up here from this little menu icon. So my username is IceMetalPunk, and my password, I'm not going to tell you guys, but I will enter it if I can remember it. There it is. And again, here's the forgot password link. So if I open that in a new tab just to show you, this is what the forgot password form looks like. You literally just enter your username, click send reset email, and it's going to send a password reset link to whatever email address is associated with that username. So if it's your username, then it should go to your email address, and you'll be able to get that link. You can click the link, fill out the form, and you'll be fine. If you actually don't have an account on here, or if the account you're trying to reset is not yours, obviously the reset link is going to go to someone else, and you're not going to be able to do that. So I don't know why you'd want to try anyway. Just please don't troll. But yeah, so that's how you would do that. And basically it's just going to give you a verification code with a link. You'll click the link, enter your username, and it'll make sure the verification code belongs to that user, and if so, it'll let you change your password. Pretty simple. But right now, I'm going to sign in. And there we go. I'm on the same page, but I am signed in, and you can tell because these navigation links have changed. You'll notice join Minestruck is not there anymore. Instead, it says submit a structure. And if I click here, instead of a sign in, I get some links to sign out, another link to submit a structure from anywhere in case I wanted to, and a link to my own profile. Now when you click on your own profile, you're going to see more than you saw as a guest. So this is only when you view your own profile, not when you view someone else's, even if you are signed in. And you're going to get this. So the first thing you'll notice that's different is this latest submission is there. Underneath the latest submission, you'll see the email address. And this will be whatever email address we have on file for you, or the word none if there is none. And you can change it at any time. And again, there's a little help thing just to remind you that it's always going to be hidden to the public. The only reason I can see this is because this is my own profile. But if I wanted to change it, I could click change. And then I could just enter a new email, confirm it, and change it. And it's as simple as that. As long as the two emails match, it will update my email on the server. So, great. The other thing you'll notice, which if you didn't notice before, I think you might need glasses, is these two big boxes. So the first thing you can do is manage your submission. So if you've submitted any structures, you'll see a list of them here, and you can scroll down if there's more. And basically, you can view any of your structures by clicking the view link, which I'm going to open in another tab. And it just takes you to the view page, the same page you saw before in the guest video. And that's there. And you can do that with all of yours. And then you can check next to these to delete them. So this is, for example, if you put up a submission, but then you realize you want to update it and put a new version, you can delete the old one and upload the new one. Or if you made a mistake in the description or something, or you want to change it, you can delete it and upload it again. Or if, for example, you put up a submission, but then you realize later you don't actually want other people to use your structure, you can delete it and just leave it deleted. And so the way you do that is just by checking off the ones you want to delete, press delete selected. It's going to pop up and ask you, are you sure you want to delete these submissions? It cannot be undone. I'm going to cancel because I don't want to delete them. But if you press OK, everything you've checked off will just be immediately deleted, poof, gone from the server as if they never existed. And it cannot be undone, which is why it tells you it can't be undone to make sure you want to do it. As for favorites, right now it says I haven't favorited any submissions yet, because I haven't. But if I were to go into, say, the scoreboard randomizer or any submission, if you come into the submission view page while you're signed in, you'll see this heart next to the name. So if I click this heart, it turns red. If I click it again, it turns white. So if I click it to turn it red, then that means I am favoriting this submission. So if I favorite that and reload my profile, you'll see over here there's now a thing that says scoreboard randomizer. So basically, if you want to find your favorite structures later, or for example, if you're on a mobile device and you can't actually download a structure but something looks interesting to you, you can favorite it on the mobile device, and then when you get back to your computer at home, you can check your favorites, and it'll be right there waiting for you at all times to go and just click it to open a link to the actual page, and then you can do everything you could normally do, just download it or whatever. So that's a good way to keep track of your favorite structures, hence your favorites. If you want to remove something from your favorites, you just come into your profile and click that, or on the actual structure page, you can also click the heart again. Now, on your profile page, if you click a heart and turn it white to unfavorite something, it's not going to disappear immediately. So you can go in and click it again and refavorite it. That just gives you a chance to undo it if you accidentally clicked it. However, the second you reload or leave the page, any hearts that are white will be removed from your favorites list. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so that's all about this profile, except you might notice this link that says verify. So in the guest video, you'll see that I had a verified account. I've manually removed that verification so that I can show you how to verify your own account. So when you come on and view your own profile, if you haven't verified your account yet, instead of the little green check mark, you'll see a verify link. So what this is about is to verify that you own the Minecraft account that you've signed up with. And remember when I was showing you how to sign up, I mentioned that you can pick any valid Minecraft username that hasn't been used in an account. But it doesn't necessarily have to be yours. And so by verifying your account, you're proving that it is in fact your account, and you're giving yourself that check mark so that other users on the site can look at your account and say, okay, this is who he says or she says they are, right? And it also, in the advanced search, which I showed you in the other video, you can search for structures submitted only by verified accounts. So people might be doing that, and if you want your structures to have the best chance of getting seen by everyone, you're going to want to verify your account so that it'll show up in those lists. So how do you verify your account? If I click verify, it comes to here and it says you can now connect to the server. In this case, it's saying 127.0.0.1. That's just because I'm viewing this page from the same computer that's running the server. You will see a different URL here, probably something along the lines of minestruck.dinu.com. But pay attention to what server it tells you to connect to. But it'll tell you can connect to that server with your Minecraft account to get your verification code in the disconnected message. And it says, please remember the code because it'll only be shown to you once. And that's very important, but I'm going to show you what that means in a second. So, if you come into your Minecraft and you sign into your account and you go into multiplayer, as you can see here, I have the Minestruck validation server on the list. You don't need to do that, and you're probably not ever going to want to do that because you're only going to need to validate your account once. So let's do that now. So we click Direct Connect, and it'll tell you what server to connect to. Connect to whatever it tells you. Do not connect to 127.0.0.1. It will not work unless you're running this on my computer, in which case we have a problem. So once we connect and we say join, it's going to immediately kick us off, which is perfectly normal because this is not a server to play on. This is only for validation. So when you do that, it'll give you a code, and this will only appear if you have clicked the verify link on your Minestruck account. And again, as it says on that page, it will only be shown once. So I suggest you write it down, either with pen and paper, or in my case, I'm just going to open up Notepad here, and I'm going to write it down. BF763 FBB 8197D101. Write it down, because once you click back to server list, you will never see that code again. And that's because for security reasons, the code itself is not stored on the server or anywhere. It's generated when you make that first connection, and then what's called the hash is stored on the server, which means there's no way to get it back, but you can be verified later. But since there's no way to get it back, write it down. And this is in the video with the guest features I mentioned in the Contact Us form. There is an option if you've lost your verification code to send me an email, and I can unverify you and I can get rid of it and reset it so that you can start the verification process from the beginning again and you can get a new code. But in order to do that, I have to manually do that on the server, again, for security reasons. So just write it down the first time. So I'm going to go back, and I don't need to go into Minecraft anymore. Now all I have to do is copy that code and paste it here where it says verification code. If I put in the wrong code, for example, if I forget that one, and I click verify, it's just going to tell me the verification code was incorrect. But if I have the correct code and I click verify, it'll say, congratulations, you have verified your account. Now just to show you what happens if you've already verified your account and you try to connect to the verification server again, you will get kicked again, but this time the message will be different. It will say this account is already verified, congratulations. So just so you know what you'd see if you tried. And now that I've verified my account, if I come back into my profile, instead of the verify link, I have the verified check mark. So there you go. So now everyone will know I'm verified, and if people search for submissions by verified users, my submissions will show up there as well. So I get the best benefit of everyone seeing my submissions, even if they're suspicious or don't trust people or whatever reason they have for searching only for verified accounts, they will see it. So yeah, so that's how verification works. And browsing and advanced search and regular search, that all works the same as I showed in the guest features, doesn't matter. The only difference is that when you actually go to view a submission, if we come at the bottom here, we'll see it still says no comments to display, because obviously, again, this website hasn't been released at the time that I'm recording this, but by the time you guys see it, there might be comments. So once you're signed in, you can enter your own comment. So if I were to say, I love the way you've used structure integrity to generate random numbers. Clever. Just a nice little note signed by me. And if I post this comment, it just immediately posts up there. And if you reload, you'll see that just anyone viewing this page will see these comments. If there's enough comments, there will be a scroll bar, so yeah. But that's how it works, so thanks. And then I can click post, and yeah. And it's just going to alternate colors and basic stuff. And it'll tell you when they posted and who they were with a link to their profile. Fair enough. So then I guess the last thing to talk about, and the most important thing to talk about, is how to submit your own structures. So for that, you click the Submit a Structure button, which you can click in this navigation bar, or if you're signed in, you can click the link in your account menu. It goes to the same page. And this is where we submit our structures. So first thing you're going to want to do is give your structure or pack a title. If you don't give it a title, it's just going to be called structure number X, So for example, if you have submitted 5 structures before, it'll be structure number 6. That's just the default, but of course, you're probably going to want to give it a more descriptive name. So in this case, I'll call it a simple house. House, if I could type. The description will just be a basic house used for demonstration purposes. The Minecraft version, I believe I saved this one in 1.10, so I will choose 1.10. This category is a base because it's a house, maybe a simple house, but it's a house nonetheless. And you can see here, when you go to submit a structure, the category will be listed here. So if you choose base, it tells you a base is a build used as a home, a place where you return for sleep, daily activities, and item storage. Dungeon, it tells you what a dungeon is. So you can go through this and find the most appropriate category. Oops, didn't mean to click that. Most appropriate category. Now, it doesn't specifically say, but other is just anything that doesn't fit in other categories. So it's anything really, but I suggest if you can find a category that it fits best in, you should do that because it'll make it easier on people searching to find what they're looking for in your structure. So yeah, if you want people to find your structures better, the more information you can give, the better. So in this case, it's a base. Then you choose the structure file. Now it says NBT or zip. If it's a single structure, it's an NBT file. If it's a structure pack, it's a zip containing multiple NBT files. So in this case, it is a single structure. So I'm going to come in here, and somewhere in here there is a simple house. There it is. And if you didn't know where to find those, you'll see at the end of the structure block tutorial video, which I will link again in the description. Towards the end, I explain how to find the structures that you've saved. And just a little quick recap, in Windows, that folder is app data. Oops, app data with percentages around it. Minecraft, saves, and then you go into the folder for the world that you saved the structure in, which in my case is 500 subspecial. And then there should be a structures folder, and if you go in there, that's where you'll find all your structures. So on Mac, it's a slightly different folder, which I'm not exactly sure about. But if you guys want any specifics on where to find your files on a different OS, I can do some research and just comment below, and I will respond to your comment with the specifics for your system. But that's how to find it on Windows, at least. So the structure is selected. This is not a structure pack, so I won't click it. If it is a structure pack, I would click it, and it will verify the type. So if you say that it's a structure pack, it needs to be a zip file. If you say it's not a structure pack, it needs to be an NBT file, and it will verify that. And if it doesn't match up correctly, it's just going to give you an error when you try to submit it, and you'll have to fix that. And then the last thing is screenshots. Now it says optional because the screenshots are optional. But I'd like to give this a screenshot. Do I even have a screenshot of this? I believe I have one in my Minecraft YouTube folder. So if I can, I think in the structures tutorial, if I come into Redstone, tutorials, structure block tutorial, this one includes the house. It includes other things too, but it also includes the house. So I'm going to pick that one. Now, if you have more than one thumbnail, or sorry, more than one screenshot, that's okay. You can just click Add Screenshot as many times as you want, and just add as many screenshots as you want. It's perfectly fine. I'm only going to add this one because it's the only screenshot I took of it, and I'm going to submit. And when you submit, it's just going to submit the file, add it to the database, and it'll bring you right to the download page or the view page. And it has all the descriptions and all of the everything. And because this was an individual file instead of a pack, it will also give you a structure analysis. Again, as I showed you in the guest video, it just kind of breaks down from the NBT data directly everything that goes into this structure. There is one thing that I haven't shown you, which is if you submit a pack or if you're searching and you find a pack on the website, It's going to be exactly the same, except you're going to see a little zip folder icon next to the title, and that'll show up in the search results and the browse results as well. So if you see that little zip file, it looks like a zipped up folder. That means that it is a structure pack with multiple structures in it and not a single structure. But you can see it's a category of a base, and it tells you what that is and all the stuff that you saw in that video. So that's how you submit it. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. This is how you get your structures out there for the world to see. And obviously you get feedback with the comments. In the future, I'm planning on adding a system to let you know when someone has favorited one of your structures, just so you can try to keep up with the statistics of which structures people like the most, even if they're not commenting. But for now, comments are your feedback, but you can come in here and see everything. And now if we click browse, obviously that new house will be there, and it's going to be the first one because it is the latest submission. And if we come back to the home page, it will be the latest submission. So there you go. Between the previous video with the guest features and this video with the member features, I've shown you everything there is to know about Minestruck. So you should know everything you're getting into. And hopefully it excites you as much as it excites me, because ever since 1.10 came out and they announced that structure blocks would be available to regular players and not just the developers, I wanted to make a website like this, because what's the point of making structures that you can save in files if you're not going to share those files with other people? So I hope that Minestruck will become an amazing community of builders and redstoners alike to share their creations with the world in a way that's much simpler than having to download an entire world file if you just want one structure to put in your own worlds. So, yeah, until next time, keep building, keep redstoning, keep doing everything that you would normally do in Minecraft, only this time, keep sharing them with the world.